Now this has been a long overdue video since it went viral on TikTok with over 130,000 views. I've had the frequent requests in my comments. I want to see the full video. I want to see. Okay, now I'm giving you the full 100. So come with me in my kitchen as I prepare Thanksgiving dinner as a Jamaican girl living in Canada. And on the menu, we have escovitch fish. I'll be doing some mac and cheese, cornbread, and also some corn and potato boil. It was like a corn boil, but I added some chicken wings on top of it and make a little sauce and put over it. So I started frying my fish first, and I seasoned them with salt and pepper and usually some Maggi seasoning. And then usually when I'm frying them, I just drizzle a little bit of flour over it to just add a little bit of crispiness. Now I am making my escovitch sauce, which is made of onions, which you see I just cut them up. Green peppers, usually you can add any color bell peppers. I added the green ones because those were the only ones I had in my fridge. Listen, when you're cooking, you don't have to stress yourself, just use what you have and improvise. Also, this escovitch fish sauce, I use carrots. I'm cutting them up in strips, just small strips. Next, I'm going to add them to my pot, and I usually add some vinegar, pimento, a little salt, and pepper. And if you like your escovitch fish spicy or hot, you can add scotch bonnet pepper in yours. You can cut it up just like this and add it to it, add some spiciness. But I didn't want ours to be that spicy because my son and other people will be eating. So I just added one whole scotch bonnet pepper, and I just pour some holes into it to get the flavor from it. So there I'm adding them into the pot with the vinegar, the pimento, and the salt and pepper. Now you're going to put this on the pot, and once it starts boiling or starts to look as if it's going to boil, then you just turn off the stove and you cover it up and you let it do its thing. Right? Everybody does their thing different. This is how I do it in my kitchen. You can do you. I know some people like to comment, it's not so it's to be done, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. This is a Shika's kitchen. Anyways, you see how my fish is looking golden and nice? Yes. Now I'll be working on my mac and cheese. Who said Jamaicans cannot cook mac and cheese? Let me know in the comments if you are Jamaican and you enjoy cooking mac and cheese. So once the pot is hot, put it in, and I'm doing different things, guys. This took me about over 2 hours to do, so I'm working on things back and forth. Now I'm working on my wings. I bake my chicken wings in the oven at 400 degrees just to make it bake fast, and I was just turning them. No, somebody have the audacity to comment over on TikTok, oh, the wings are not ready. Of course it never ready because I was turning them and they never done cook. They were just cooked halfway. So I was turning them over so that the other side can be done. And I like my chicken with a little bit of color. Now I'm working on my cornbread next. I tell you, I'm in the kitchen and I'm running from one pot to the next. But I wasn't stressed. I'm just doing one thing at a time. Now to my cornbread, I added 1.5 cups of flour, 1.5 cups of cornmeal, 1 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. What else did I put in it? A little bit of honey, a little bit of vanilla, 3 eggs beaten, about 1 stick of butter, and I usually put my butter in whatever container I'll be baking in and put it in the oven to melt. And I added some sour cream. Now I didn't measure the sour cream. You see the amount I put in it. Maybe that's about half cup. I'm assuming half cup, just to give it some texture. Just added texture to make it added that's soft and nice. So you're gonna mix that. Don't over mix it. Just mix it until everything is combined nicely. Then from there, I'm going to transfer it into my baking container. I'm using a foil tin. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving. And if you go all out with all the fancy utensils and stuff, I don't do that because over here I do easy mode. Not lazy, but easy and stress free. So I transfer it into my container. I'm going to put it in the oven with the chicken, but I'm going to turn it down a little bit to 350. I added at 400 or 450. No, I'm going to put it to 350. Let that finish up the cornbread. Now I'm going to finish up the fish. Now I'm done frying the fish. It was a whole tray of fish. I did cut some in half because we have kids and they don't want the whole of fish. So now my escovite sauce is done. My fish is done frying. I'm just going to layer it over it. That vinegar, that onion, and those peppers will soak into the fish and give it a nice flavor. Yes, this is a Jamaican style escovitch fish. And I'm going to drizzle all of the remainder of the vinegar, cover it up. So when it's time for Thanksgiving dinner, it's nice and well soaked up with all these flavors and all these seasonings. Next, after that is done, you see, yes, looking good. Tell me how much of these fish you would want in your plate right now. Next, we're working on the cheese for the macaroni and cheese sauce, and that's my helper. Yes, Chef Katie cutting up the cheese. Some people grate the cheese, but I find it does the same thing when I cut it in cubes. Less time wasting over here. As I said, I do things on the easy mode. Next, I'm seasoning up my pot because I'm going to boil the corn and the potato into this pot. So I'm just adding my regular seasonings that I usually use from my cupboard. Usually paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, sometimes pimento. Yes, I did added pimento to this. Cumin, and also my usual chicken meat season or chicken season. My go-to is usually Maggi, but I've been out of Maggi for a while and I haven't been to the Caribbean store yet. So I use what I have, improvise, right? So while I'm doing that, my water is boiling up and it's getting ready to put the corn and the potatoes in. I'm still working on my macaroni and cheese, so the macaroni is still being cooked while I have the sauce also, the cheese sauce cooking over there. So I'm just adding a little bit of salt and pepper. I don't usually add seasoning into my mac and cheese. Some people season up theirs to the tea. I don't, because my kids, they don't like it like that. If they go out and you get a mac and cheese that's seasoned, they're just going to shift the plate. Take time and shift the plate aside. So I'm adding my cheese, the cubes of cheese to my sauce. And what I have in my mac and cheese sauce, I didn't show you the foundation. I added some butter in the pot, let it melt, and I added two cans, I think 2 cans for this amount that I'm doing, 2 cans of evaporated milk, salt, pepper, paprika, and then I'm adding the cheese. I'm going to turn on the stove really low so that the cheese gradually melts and the sauce thickens really nicely. Now this is the corn that I cut up really small. Not even me, hubby. He did a little helping, so he knows how to cut up the corn in the right sizes because I hate to cut up corn. So I added the corns and the potato, and now I'm grating the cheese for the top portion of the mac and cheese. Yes, I do the main part in cubes, and then I'm going to cut up, and then I'm grating this to put on the top. Once the mac and cheese is done, you see the sauce is done. Yes, sorry I didn't show you the look of the sauce because I'm doing multitasking here in the kitchen. But of course, I drain the macaroni once it's done, and then I added the sauce to it, or added it to the sauce rather, and then I'm combining everything. I think I added too much macaroni for this amount of sauce, but it did work out. It did work out, and it was delicious as usual. So I'm adding one layer, half of the amount of the mac and cheese, and then I'm going to add some of the grated cheese to that portion. Then I will put the remainder mac and cheese on top. So like we're going in layers, and then I'll put the remainder of the cheese on top. Now I see some people do their mac and cheese with a whole lot of cheese on the top to get that crunchy, that crunchy texture. But I think that's just too much cheese. So I do me, you do you. Tell me, how do you, what's the different way how you make your macaroni and cheese? Let me know in the comments what you add to your macaroni and cheese. Now, as I said, I think this was too much for this pan. It's faulting, but I made it work, and it worked. Yes, it worked. Now, next, after doing that, then I put it in the oven, also with the cornbread. And by that time, what else did I have in the oven? I don't even remember at this point. Yes, the chicken. Yes, the chicken was done at this time. And then I added those. Now I'm almost done. Yes, things are getting ready and things are getting done up in here, getting closer time for dinner. Now, of course, I have escovitch fish, so we have to have some festival also to go with the escovitch fish because this is a Jamaican household. So I did do some festival, and this is just the Grace the Pack festival, which I always use, and I like to clean up as I go. And I think at this time I was done, so now I wash up everything, wash all my pots, turn them down, clean the cupboard, clean down the counter and everything, so that when everybody comes, I have my friends coming over and they're doing the oxtail and the rice and peas. So by the time they come over, everything should be ready. The kitchen is clean and we're ready to eat. Now, my husband did started to setting up the tables. He got the bigger table, the tablecloth, and he started to put out the utensils, as I say. We do things easy over here, so it's going to be paper plates. And by this time, I was done, and I was showered, I was dressed, and I was ready. Now, I had to mute this song because I don't want to be copyright strike, right? But guess and tell me which music or which song I was dancing to here in the comments. Let me know in the comments what type of song I was dancing to. While hubby is doing his part of the work, he's putting out all the food because after I done cook everything, I put everything in the oven to keep warm. And there's the oxtail and the rice and peas my friends brought, and that's the chicken wing. I told you I made a little sauce with the potato and the corn. And look how everything look nice. Everything come together. Listen, the cornbread almost burn up. But it was good. And usually after it's done, I added some honey and butter over it, just to brush over it and put it back in the oven. But I forget that I added it in the oven and it stayed in there too long to catch too much color. But we didn't mind that. It tastes good as usual. Now everybody is here and we're going to pray and bless the food before we dive into this delicious, yummy food. Now tell me, what would you want to put in your plate from all that you see here on this table? Everybody had a good time. That's my plate. I can't eat too much after cooking. So that was all I had, and I was full. And my friends, they enjoyed the meal also. And after it was done, it was all fun and games. Listen to it. Listen to it. Let me stop that.
What did I know? Airport in US. Airport. Oh, the president. Yes. Oh. I don't know. Skip. What do I know? It's you white. Love it. It's a big seeds in there. It's red. Yes. It's red. Basic. Red berry. No, you can't use the berry. Strawberry. Yes. You can't use the berry. On a tree. Skip. Oh. It's round and it's green. Yeah. Very bad person. Oh, go the highway. Highway. Tune in. Going to Mississauga. 401? No, the other one. QW? No, the other one. He has the name of a person. The highway have a name of a person. A highway name. Not highway. It's a very bad person. Where's Brisket? What? No, the other one. No. You're good at everything.
Yes, guys, it was a fun Thanksgiving. I know it's late, and yeah, that's me busting a move. Hey. Again, I had to mute this because of copyright strike. But tell me in the comments, what song was I dancing to? I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and don't forget to like, to share, to comment, and to subscribe. See you in the next one.